focus. Ambassador McFall, let me start with you. These reports out of Aleppo this morning are horrific, but they've been horrific for 5 years now. We're just hearing it again this morning. Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister for Russia, said on Friday that the airstrikes of Aleppo will continue until the, quote, bandits have been run out of town. Presumably those bandits are the women and kids and the doctors who are getting killed today. What more can be done now at this late hour?
I don't think there's much that can be done in Aleppo. I think it's a horrible tragedy, a giant failure of the international community, including my former administration, the Obama administration, and how to deal with it. But there's no good options now there. I think moving forward, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the rest of the country as we continue our operations against ISIS. But what happens when we achieve victory? What happens when we take Raqqa? Do we just hand it over to Mr. Assad now in the new Trump administration? That's where the next phase of this fight will be.
So, Ambassador, what were the specific failures of the Obama administration? You just described them generally. What could have been done over the last 5.5, 6 years to prevent the scenes we're seeing this morning in Aleppo?
So, these are all counterfactuals, and I don't want to claim that had we done one of these things, it would have been different. But in the early phases, when there was a chance for negotiations, we didn't push hard enough for that. We relied on the Russians. We hoped that they would bring Assad to the table, and that never happened. I was part of those negotiations, and that never happened. Second, there was a red line drawn about weapons of mass destruction, and the president, after they used those weapons of mass destruction, decided not to use force. I think that was a big mistake. Even some of that force, maybe it wouldn't have gotten rid of weapons of mass destruction or stopped Mr. Assad, but even taking out some airplanes and taking out some air bases might have reduced the carnage in Aleppo. And third, remember, Russia is one of the partners bombing Aleppo. Russia is one of the people attacking these civilians that you just reported on. And we have tried to negotiate with Russia, and I fear moving forward that we're even going to negotiate with them more, and we're going to accept their narrative in Syria in the new Trump administration.